Trash.
And we're off to the start. Okay.
Yeah, but where does she meet these people? Soccer players and DJs.
So where did she meet me? Actually, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Where did she meet me?
Which means you for the streets as well.
Yeah.
Because you met her there.
So I'm the street.
And you never know when you're going to meet the right one. Because you can go to a high-class home and meet her at Centon. Because you find out her body count. Do you run or do you stay?
That's why there's always a phrase saying, why do beautiful houses have big doors?
Welcome to Redemption. Gentlemen, we're here again. South Africa, we got another episode of our roundtable discussions, and I don't travel alone. I come with Jimmy and I come with KB. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
Good, bro. Good.
Already sounds like there's trouble brewing here.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. All right. And as usual as well, I'm not traveling alone, guys. I've got my main man here next to me, Dumi D.
Sup, fellas?
Yeah.
We're back at it again like a crack addict, right? yeah. For sure. So today we've got an interesting segment, which is simply titled, Do You Run or Do You Stay? And we're going to delve into the questions. We've got the cue cards, gents, and we would like to hear your take on, some of these interesting questions. So without further ado.
You're running already, bro.
Without further ado.
You haven't even heard the first one.
Yeah, man. She prefers eating out rather than having home-cooked meals. Never cooks, only buys ready-made meals or takeaway. She doesn't like to cook. So, what's your take on that?
Trash.
And we're off to the start.
Trash.
What do you mean, bro?
She doesn't cook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even eggs. Even though you don't cook eggs. Even eggs.
Well, you're asking the wrong people. We just...
Yeah.
Oh, because you guys are married.
Oh.
No, it's not even
You're
about
still
that.
counting me there. Come on now.
Oh, they are
She don't
married.
cook.
Okay. No, it's trash.
So you're deciding to run in this case?
Yeah, quick. Well, before, I'm going to first taste the benefits, then
Oh, okay.
I'll run.
Okay. All right.
Price
That's
picks.
interesting. So this is only you basing it on the fact that she doesn't cook?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a prerequisite for you?
I mean, what are we going to do for most of the time? Buy takeout and all of that.
I guess you got a valid point.
That gets boring. Have you ever eaten takeout? You're a guy. You've eaten a lot of takeout. It's boring.
Yeah, I have. You're talking about food, right?
Yeah.
I have, man. But I get your point as well. It's more of, I want to come back and have a home-cooked meal.
Exactly.
Something warm, something she prepared with love and care. I guess when you look at it from that point of view.
Married man.
Jimmy?
Yeah, guys, I think this one goes with the age as well. So, when you meet someone and then you get them used to that lifestyle, it's going to be difficult to take them out of it, because you met them, you used to take them out, but at the end of the day, when you want to be Ubaba, you want her to cook, she will tell you it, but I enjoy takeout, So...
I'm crazy.
So I think it needs to, and I think, mostly... It's the grown-ups, man, that likes eating out and take pictures of the food, the burning meat,
Yeah.
So I think...
But actually, Monday to Monday.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, so I think I'll run because I'm a man that wants cooked...
Home-cooked meal.
Yeah. And even if when I eat out sometimes, I'll eat cooked meal like as if it's home-cooked meal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you get tired of the burgers and the chips.
It gets tiring.
And the pizza.
It gets tiring.
Yeah. No, I actually concur because, the problem is, though, we get them used to it because Mausa Chama Pela. Yeah, you've got a budget for this thing,
Yeah,
so,
you're still in application mode, Pela.
Yeah.
3 months probation.
But here's an insight. My wife's cousin used to be soccer player of a very big team, and his marriage went under simply because of that.
Yeah.
And remember, when you're getting the big bucks, you afford to buy Monday to Monday.
Yeah.
I didn't say it was that late.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Right.
But then also, what if she says to you, when obviously you'll say, if you want, Khaleli 7 colors, like KB saying, but no, you know what? I don't want to eat out every day.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this. I want some pap. I want some 7 colors. I want some dombolo, some stew. and then her answer to you will be like, hey, when this is not 1950. If you want it, cook it yourself. How do you respond to that? Because now
Trash.
she's now.
I told you how you respond. Trash.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's how
gosh.
you respond.
Yeah, which means that person is not really ready
Yeah.
to be with someone
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if just put the kids, include the kids in there.
Yeah.
So do you think kids will also, kids get tired of takeaways too. True. So if she's not about that life, then she's not for me.
And I guess, you know what, by you touching on the kids part, you're going to another element of this, the family building element.
Yeah.
You know? And I think most of us here as men, we have that thing to say, if you can't feed me, how are you going to feed my family? What kind of wife am I marrying? We look at it from a cultural point of view now. We're like,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why other men, when they get home, like, velati usuit, because maybe she's too used to take away. Marapega, she doesn't know how to cook, so I'll rather get home angry, say I'm full no good.
Yeah.
What not eating here? I'm sure I've eaten where I come from. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Obvious.
I ate where I come from.
Maisha utichisa nyama na manyana papa. Then you go home very
But that's
suit.
expensive, kids.
It's not.
It's not.
If
Chisanyama.
it's gonna save you from eating trash food.
Monday to Monday.
Yeah.
No budget.
Oh, okay.
Angithi lebe milithenge igroza
You
wena.
get men.
Whoa,
you
whoa.
see those small.
So,
you see those small corners in ranking whereby you buy
Abo mama 25
20
rand,
rand
50 rand.
divorce and then you
Yeah,
fry
yeah.
it and then you eat, jump on and sex and
Chisanyama.
then go home.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be you. Why?
Yeah.
Well, hey, each to his own. All right, we got the next one here. Again, run or stay. You find out that her exes were all soccer players and all popular DJs. Hey, it just keeps getting worse. Firstly, would you jump to a conclusion that it's a preference or maybe she is for them streets?
It's simple. Simple.
Why is it simple to do this?
For the streets.
I told you guys the last episode, I am the prize.
Oh, nice one.
So she's for the street, she can't get a prize like me.
Okay.
Yeah, but where does she meet these people? Soccer players and DJs.
So where did she meet me? Actually, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Where did she meet me?
Which means you're for the streets as well.
Yeah.
Because you met her there.
So I'm the street.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's a valid point, though, when you say where does she meet these people.
But with that said,
Yeah.
we all have been somewhere and then along the way we change.
Not true.
I mean, I know I've been a DJ. I've been clapping throughout my 20s.
Yeah.
And there's a time where it stopped and then I focused on another thing.
Mama, bokwazi lokho.
Sahlangana emcimbini.
Yilazongithola khona.
No, but you know what? And that's a valid point as well. Maybe it was your side hustle or whatever it was at the time, and you can grow out of it and build a family with her.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there is this stigma, guys. We all know it with the DJs, soccer players. I guess it's what is surrounding the media.
So are you running?
And
The question is, are you running?
Yeah, that's the question for all of us.
The question
here.
is, are you running or are you staying?
For me personally,
Jimmy Tay, you know
I'm
you're
going.
running. Jimmy Tay, you know you're running.
No, Jimmy stayed and built a family.
Yeah, Jimmy stayed.
no, but Jimmy was,
No, you know what he said.
Yeah, she stayed
No, but
for
remember,
Jimmy.
we also gotta look at it from a perspective of, like you said, where do you meet them?
Yeah,
But now the other question that you should pose to yourself is, what's your priorities in life? Sometimes you go to these places to really meet some people, but sometimes you go to these places to, find a little toy boy type of thing or toy girl. So it depends on what your priorities are in life at that point. You know, and you never know when you're going to meet the right one, because you can go to a high class hole and meet her at Centon, eating at a Trump's, for example. Well dressed, looks good, but
She's there snacking at Tasha.
I'm just answering your question. She deals with top tier men. Those ones that say, I want the 1%, the one who's got a tall, dark, handsome, has got a 6-figure salary, lives in a penthouse. So it depends on the modus operandi. But then again, we're all people. You want something depending, and I'm not speaking for guys who are simps. Because there's some guys, they just take anything and everything. But I'm speaking for me, for example, you can't say now because I met her at a club or Mqimbini, now she was for the streets. It doesn't work like that.
No,
but somebody who does that consistently though,
but
that one is for the streets.
No, but listen, I guess the point is you met her there, but then she tells you her history. That's where the defining factor is. That if she tells you her history is parties and all of that.
Yeah, the past tells a story.
A part of it, because you're not defined by a past.
But
some people
is
don't
somebody
have past
gonna
when
come
they're
out
married.
right and be truthful?
Some people don't have past like us.
Dumi D's onto something, yeah?
Yeah.
Is somebody gonna come out right and be
truthful?
truthful?
But then it leads me to my next question: do you run or do you stay?
Yeah.
Kabza, you actually transitioned it nicely, because you find out her body count, right?
Yeah.
So what? And that body count is above 20, gents.
So do I multiply?
so
wait.
Is that before the
No.
multiplication?
Eh?
Is that before the multiplication?
In what sense?
Because you must times it
20
20
times, Baba.
Oh no!
20
Well,
times.
I mean, that's why I was saying the truthfulness.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, she comes off as
She's not going to tell you her
Yeah, but
she's not going to tell you her crazy actions.
We know. If she says 3, times it by 3.
Exactly.
So 20 times 3?
But now she says 20.
I go 60. Okay.
So what do you do? Run or stay?
Okay.
How does she look?
Obviously.
You're still asking that?
No, I'm sure. Now I want to be
That's why
21.
they-
So the looks will overpower the past.
I'm
and the
21
60.
for the night and then I'm out.
That's
Think
why,
about
there's,
it.
that's why there's always a phrase saying, why do beautiful houses have big doors?
I'll take a sip to that.
And we're not talking about houses.
In this
Definitely
instance.
not talking about houses.
Yeah, the context thereof. Then, guys, what would be acceptable to you as a body count? Having said, you found out
Every
Uti
guy's going to lie and
20.
say 1. Every guy wants it to be 1.
No, but from our female counterparts, what I mean, like you ask, KB.
But it
she's
comes-
no. This is
go on.
what she looks like, and you feel with Neyman, we're vibing, you know.
Yeah.
Conversation, mental,
Yeah.
you know. And then you're like, no, okay, I can work with this, you know. Then what would be an acceptable
What
number?
would be acceptable to me
Yes.
is not knowing.
Stay in the dark.
It's
No. But there's telltale
Unless you know the
signs.
person.
There's obvious telltale signs that, no.
Utin, Jiangala.
Hey, that's not But I think the body count part, like let's use Dumi D's scenario. If you're vibing and it's going well and you kind of like her, there will be elements of I don't really care, like you say. I don't want to know the body count. But once the behavior comes and tells you the body count,
Nah, you know what?
this is where we're going into other territory.
No, wait. The X, I think also, if that 20 is higher than yours, that's where it becomes a bit of an issue. That's where the actual issue is. If you're on 5, she's on 20
Yeah.
times 3, then you're like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Because you're on 5,
Yeah.
she's going to teach you things. It's not going to be
That's where I was gonna go because there's an experience factor that's gonna come in there,
Yeah.
and you're gonna feel it once you get to Babylon, to doing the things,
Solomon, you're right.
and that's going to reflect. And as a man, our egos is gonna be really messed up.
But men in general don't care. I'll make an example. There are men who go out to buy prostitutes.
Yeah.
Do they care?
Nah.
Yeah, but he's not,
you're trying to fulfill.
but that's different because he's not trying to marry the
Yeah.
prostitute. He's not trying to engage the prostitute
Exactly.
into a relationship.
This is not a pretty woman scenario, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to change her to become a future wife. Which,
Some do.
good
some
luck.
do.
I want to hear a story where it ended well.
I think obviously having said that, Jimmy J has already answered. He don't want to hear none of it. I'd rather not know. But gents, in the actual fact, are we as men ready to hear that? Body count grand sharp.
No.
Factoring that we times it by a certain number. Because what they tell you is not the actual truth. So are we saying, are we ready to hear that?
I think
when
you can be
somebody says-
ready. You can be
Yeah.
ready. But not want to acknowledge.
Yeah.
Like it might not be.
If
for
it's
you.
all good, you
like
won't want to
like
acknowledge.
if you hear the number, maybe it's 5. You times it by 3, it's 15. You say,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I can
Yeah.
work with it, right? Comparative to yours. I think it's always comparative to yours.
Yeah.
That's when you.
When you say you can work with it, what exactly are you working with?
Let's go.
No, you say, because if when you figure you have 50, she says she has 20 times by 3. You guys are the same
You're on
level.
par, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Are you going to
Yeah.
leave her? You're not. You're going to say, you know, Safana, you can work with this.
But I
But
think,
if you're on 5, she's on 60, what are you going to do?
yeah, but I think just to make your life, you know,
Yeah.
just
Rather not know.
Stay in the
rather
dark.
don't know, yeah, stay in the dark.
All right.
Way.
Let's hear our next one.
Because if ever, sorry, before going
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
next one, if ever you're always gonna want to know, you'll forever run.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
So our next one says you find out she still has a tattoo of her ex's name on her damn body.
Where is it on the body?
Ooh, does
Yeah.
it even matter, bro?
Yeah. Because if it's looking at you.
No, but
and
it
you're looking at
depends. Let's say she's got that tattoo and the partner actually passed away. That's a different scenario.
Did she get it after he died?
Yeah.
Or before?
Maybe before she died.
Then she must
Before
go
they-
die with him also. What is it? What swag is it?
Okay.
No.
No, because he's gone, most.
No, but tattoos can always be closed. But if ever she chooses not to close, which means she's still attached to
Exactly.
that guy.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
There's an
How long, would
attention
she have
factor.
been, how long would she have been with him to have a tattoo of him? That's crazy.
And fun, life
have
is,
you ever-
life is a
Happens.
crazy thing.
Yeah.
They went to Vegas
But what
and
happens if a
got
girl puts a tattoo of your name?
No.
Red flag,
I wouldn't allow it.
You've never had that.
Nah, I've
It's a
never
good
had that.
experience.
Yeah.
It's a red flag.
Oh, you have?
You've had
No, it's fine. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Good
So-
luck, sister.
So you find out she has OnlyFans account or channel.
what is it doing with that
What do you
OnlyFans?
do? Do you stay or do you run for the
You
hills?
run.
Watch it first.
Now you find out if you can be a contributor.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a lucrative form of income. You guys can be a family business. Family business.
So you also have OnlyFans.
Think about it. Imagine if it's Melinda and Kabza, it's gonna work.
You're gonna make a money.
Dear
When
Melinda.
are you a capitalist?
Dear Melinda.
You just
You
want
heard
the
that.
money.
Yeah. All about this guy.
You know
Yeah.
Melinda
You
is.
don't
It's a
care of the
code name.
reputation.
It's a code name.
It's a code name.
Yeah, but I guess this goes back to that other point to say it's part of her body count. It's part of her history. Now you're going to OnlyFans, depending what she's doing on OnlyFans.
Yes.
Her body count is increasing, bro.
No, it's probably not because you guys think that it's with different partners, right? It's sometimes just with one person. You're gonna have an issue when you find out who that one person is.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It does not matter because she's on OnlyFans. Everybody out there is watching her.
Caesar. Yeah, nah.
And from a perspective of me as a male, or let me be specific, a Zulu man, oh hell no.
You don't wanna be a cat man.
No.
Why you a nice and cherry boy in a hairline? What do you say?
Right, gents. Having said that, she obviously, we've discussed the OnlyFans channel.
And bottle.
No, we're getting to the bottom.
Yeah.
So, if she was formerly her history,
Yeah.
she was a bottle girl, exotic dancer, or erotic dancer in a gentleman's club. In gentleman's club, I mean downtown.
Yeah.
Just Goli Maboni.
Okay.
Oh.
How would you then respond to that? And she came up front saying, "Listen, this is my history.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is who I was." So
Well, I'll give her props for the honesty part. Like we were saying earlier, some of them don't really come out and tell us until you kind of find out that there's certain things you know here that only a professional would know, or you see it for yourself, or one of your boys comes out, God forbid, one of your boys comes out and says, "I saw her."
last week Saturday.
I'll give her props for saying it. But as far as what I'm looking to do with her, in terms of run or stay, by stay I mean build a life, build wifely material, have her look after my babies, be that reputable mother in my life to my kids. Personally, I'd run.
Yeah, because I think it goes with intentions.
Yeah.
With her, what you want to do. I don't think. I don't know. I'll run as well.
You guys are running over small waters.
Okay, so when your kids are asking, Daddy, what did mommy used to do?
Yeah.
We tell her what she does currently.
But the internet never forgets, buddy.
Yeah.
okay, now I'm talking from the element of but I knew if it's OnlyFans, it would have been a family business. But if it's a gentleman's
Family
club,
business of yours is kind of tricky.
where
So
now
the kids,
you're sleeping on the job, you think it's a Tenny and Son. No, come on. But if it's like the strip club thing, right? I know a few that did that and then left. And it's different. You know what I mean? It's different. Obviously, the different clubs they do different things.
Yeah.
And if she's upfront with you saying that I did partake in the separate activities or did not, I think we'll define where do we go from there onwards. Because if she didn't partake in it,
but this is her word.
That
You don't know that.
everything is, even me, is my word as well.
Okay.
Right?
Fair
To be
enough.
fair, right? Because
Fair
if
enough.
she comes to me, have you ever cheated? What do you say?
I've
Yes.
never. Me? Angeke.
Yeah.
Angeke.
You take it to the grave, Baba.
To the grave.
Oh, wow. Okay.
To the grave.
Did I cheat on what? You see, you answer the question in a way that you don't seem like a liar, but you know deep down it's technically a yes.
But it's tricky, guys. It's
No, but you can't overlook your mishaps over her mishaps.
No,
and then
I'm
now
not-
be a comparative master.
and I agree with you. You know what? It feels that way, but it's the intensity of what she used to do, bruh. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But man, if you
I may have had a body count of about 90, but that was me growing up, getting out of my F stage.
but what if that was her F stage?
But this is a work stage for her.
That's a hectic F stage.
This is not an F stage for her. This is
used
a
to be
work stage
she used
for
to be
her.
decorated
She
by
used to
10
be.
runs and
There
20
we
runs.
go.
Yeah, just because your F stage made you broke and hers was getting mine.
But you see, the issue when it comes to such dynamics, right? A man is judged by his future, where he's going. Is he going to be able to provide?
There we go.
Is he going to be able to sustain the relationship and everything? Sadly, society judges women by their past.
Very true.
So hence we talking body count. Hence we talking scenarios of, did she have a OnlyFans?
And you know what?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something. Most of the women that do that, they relocate when they are done to go far away to start a new life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that when they get there, no one knows them, no one will judge them. They become mothers. They live a happily ever after life.
True.
You know what I
Because
mean?
my question is, what if you meet up with this girl, she's a doctor,
Yeah.
and then what?
But I'll still go back to this chance.
fucking lying.
The
I don't
internet,
believe you.
the
I don't
internet
believe you.
never forgets.
My ex.
You can move to Iceland, buddy.
You say the
I will
internet
still
never
Google
forgets.
you.
Okay, but let's leave aside the OnlyFans thing. What if
Yeah.
it was in the gentleman's club?
Gentlemen's Club.
In gentleman's club, there's no phones there like this.
You're not allowed to take
Are you sure?
Then my gents
No,
will
you're
tell
not
me,
allowed to. Which gentleman
My
club
friends
have
will
you
show
been?
me.
You take pictures.
They'll tell me.
Nigga.
Way, patata.
yeah, we've got friends who go
Wow.
to gentlemen's clubs.
True.
They will know.
They'll know.
No, but then again, gents, you know what? I like what you said in terms of intention. Because you're a DJ, you got your wife. I got friends who are DJs, they met their wives there. You know? Obviously and certainly in society, there are men who met their wives at a gentleman's club.
Yeah.
Somebody's wifed up somebody from an OnlyFans channel because he or she saw potential and said, no, this one doesn't deserve to be here.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy is moneyed and he said, no,
Yeah.
I can give this one a good life.
Yeah.
When Avala, this nonsense, come here, get everything you want. Because essentially, at the end of the day, as people, we want, there's a primary want from all of us.
Yeah.
And that is to have somebody that loves you, accepts you, and doesn't judge you. And there are people like KB saying, which, you know what, to a certain degree, you're going to be like, I'm going to overlook that. I see beyond who you were.
Exactly.
Because you are not that person anymore. You could be something that is,
But you should know again that there are people that do this not because they don't have money. They enjoy doing it.
it.
No, definitely.
So when I'm also towards
And that's dangerous. That is dangerous.
Okay, fine, but still.
She still
goes into the
continues.
same thing. She enjoys that.
Remember,
But then there's your-
there are
your
those
phone.
that are for the streets.
Yeah.
And
I think that's
I
why
think
we're
like you said,
asking,
X said, you will see by the behavior.
Yeah.
You mentioned about us being F boys, and you also said ladies also have that stage, which is true. But then, as I said earlier, we all have an end goal. What is your end goal as a person, as a woman or as a guy? And then there are those they're like, I love the game.
Yeah.
So I stay with the game and then I make sure I'm gonna play these ones. And there's a lady that says, "I loyang pora." He wants me to sit here. You can throw money at me, but if I see what I like and he can do me, he do me. Because like you said, some houses may be beautiful, but they have a big door.
Yeah.
And what if we're now, Totolozi? It's a problem.
I think there's many dynamics to
there's also
this.
women out there who are comfortable by saying, I'm not a wife material.
Yes.
Don't expect 1, 2, 3 from me.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough for them as
Yeah,
well.
That's true.
Nah, but then there's some that want to change for you. You see? But then she realizes later that she doesn't want that.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part.
becomes a bit tricky.
Once now you invest in someone like that, and then they change their mind. What then?
You can't be mad at that person because if they manage to try it for you and figure it out, it's different if they. I think what you.
So
want,
she's worth the risk. That's what you're saying. Taking a lady who's been through that
I mean,
journey.
you're worth the risk for her as well.
But you knew what
No, but
what the
let's say
risk
my
was.
journey. My journey
You
didn't
knew what
involve
the
me
risk
just
No.
smashing
By
anything
me
that
saying
walks.
you're worth the risk for her is by me saying she's now leaving a well-paying job at OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Which would look
Well-paying job.
Yeah.
You know, I read a meme once that said a young girl posted 19 years old and look at what I've achieved from just my OnlyFans page. I bought my car, I bought my apartment. Some guy came in and said, in 100 years worth of feminism, you still rely on the oldest profession in the world to make money.
Yeah, but we're not dissing the profession.
Nah, come on now, guys.
We're not dissing the profession.
But what is your point, X?
The point is, but listen to the point. The point is, there's a certain reliance, yet you want to be someone's wife.
Yeah, but if she's not about that feminist life, whatever, she wants to do that, let her do that.
Yeah.
Then don't wife her. That's the point I'm making.
you
Run or
do-
stay.
No, but if
But
she's
each
saying
to
she
his
wants
own.
to change for
But you
you,
want to
X,
change them.
No, X,
You
X,
wanna-
X,
you wanna be
no,
able to
X,
change
X,
them.
X, listen, she wants to try change for you. And then she realizes that, hey,
It's not for me.
it's not for me. You have to give the person that chance because she's saying, when I X, you're with me changing my OnlyFans.
All right, let me remind you of a segment we once had, and I mentioned something.
Don't ever pass.
Caption?
I don't remember it.
Caption from the guy, I can save her. Caption from the girl, I can destroy him. We have savior syndrome. That's the problem.
But that's not savior syndrome. If she's saying that for you, she wants to try a different
Yeah.
way.
It's not.
That's not. And then if she says that that's not
She
for me,
willingly.
But now that's what I'm
she
saying. Are
willingly
you willing to
participated.
take the risk in case she changes her mind over that?
nigga, I have to because she's taking a chance on me.
Yeah, but X, you shooting yourself on the foot.
That's what I'm saying.
Don't cut your nose to spite your face.
Yeah.
Okay. Each their own, guys.
Remember, you took the risk.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
then if she says, nah, you know what? I hear you, I feel you. I'm willing to reconsider. You're still gonna say, okay, good shot, that's push.
But this is a run or stay situation. I choose to run. If I find that out, I'm gonna run.
yeah, but then why are you going on about her?
Yes.
You know,
OnlyFans.
having an OnlyFans.
But
and
that's
whatever
why
you
I'm
want.
running. I'd rather not experience that and find out later when I've invested in
But
her.
then you also,
then she changes on
but
me.
you also brought up the point of then she wants to change. My thing is saying that at least she gave it a go.
Oh, yeah.
And then she
Okay.
came to me and was like, you know what, Ntwana?
And that is the risk factor for any guy.
But any relationship is like
Yeah.
that. Any
Hence,
relationship
I
has
said
that
earlier
risk.
on, guys, people lie.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and
Like
you would
we
go,
do.
you go on a whim.
Yeah.
No, everybody lies. I wouldn't say it's a guy thing. Even girls lie.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine raising a child that's not yours, and you find out 25 years later.
It's tough.
Women lie, men lie. women
Exactly.
Money doesn't lie. Eh?
Liar, set your pants on fire.
All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna throw out one last one at us, and yeah, it's a deep one. She's a total psychopath.
Yeah.
Mara.
We love
Cray
them.
cray. Yes, you hit it on the nail to me, Mara.
Yeah.
But her nanny is on fire.
Cookie.
Do you run
Can't
or
you
do you
see?
stay?
No, you stay.
I'll forever choose my peace. I'm that type of person.
Which piece are we talking about here?
I
Inside
run.
peace.
Oh, okay.
I run.
Why? Tell us more.
Why you wanna run?
Tell us more.
Because the fact that she knows that she's got fire in her, that's gonna keep me. She'll do whatever she wants because she knows that I'm always gonna come
That's
back.
the only thing keeping you.
You know what I mean?
And she can get away with murder.
With murder,
Because
basically.
at night,
Yeah.
Fire.
That's how she apologizes.
You guys are weak. You guys have all here. You guys here have watched Baby Boy. You guys have all here watched Baby Boy.
Oh yeah.
Obvious.
And you saw when he messed up, what did he do?
Yeah.
He put on that bed and did what?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, Tyrese did the things there.
That's what I'm saying. We all watched the movie.
Yeah, but case in point.
Okay.
Initially, when you start out, but I remember we speaking from experience, Jay.
Yeah.
When you didn't have the experience,
You don't have experience.
that thing,
Touch my blood, it's fine.
no. It's not about you guys don't have experience. You've got experience. I mean all of us. But me and Jay are,
From a commitment point of view. We get you. We get you.
But in the past, when you started out, when you started out, it was never Uti you would understand Uti san that fire thing is what's.
Yeah.
You got into the toxicity up until you realized, nah, man, the problem is
None
and
of
then
the
become a
toxicity.
prisoner of the shandies.
Yeah. That's got you hooked.
It's a drug, bro.
Let's get to a stage where it becomes toxic.
Yeah.
You see what
But
I'm
you
saying?
see, you guys, that's why you are the prize. Your Tontoloza
Right.
is also fire. She keeps coming back to that.
but
Why is it not that way?
But
No,
sometimes she
I
uses
agree
it.
with. I want to agree with KB's point of view here. If I'm fire, I'm fire too.
Yeah.
You gotta start thinking of
feel
yourself
me?
like that.
That's what I'm
Because it's
saying.
not one person acting up in there.
She's acting up because of the Tontolozi.
Sometimes it's just to control you.
Yeah.
Because when you hoy then there's and you tell her how much you love her and how much you
Love it.
I'm
bring
not
the
one.
world to her. No, but it happened.
I love soccer.
You know,
I love soccer. I love pirates.
You love for the pirates.
I love Sundowns. I don't love those things.
You know what also gets us caught up when she starts doing that thing, with the nails in the back of the back, in the
Evidence.
She just you all turn suicidal.
Yeah, there's these ones.
Is that the problem?
Yeah, these ones.
Yeah.
So you gotta have your head in the game, guys.
No, but hence I'm saying, sorry to cut you short there. Hence I'm saying, when you start out, if you didn't have the experience, and I mean it goes for all of us, not that we ringed up and whatever, but initially you never know up until you're in that toxic environment, then you realize, you know what I'm saying? But then obviously as time goes by, then you start learning these characters.
Most definitely. And I agree with you, because once that level of toxicity comes in, what's going to happen is you're going to start distinguishing what's keeping me here.
Exactly.
And reality kicks in. You're conscious now. You're not thinking nookie. You're thinking, this is a cycle.
Yeah.
And that ish is not good enough for me to stay here.
Yeah.
So you're
Because one day I'm going to wake up dead.
Yeah, but you don't have to stay forever.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Did you hear what we said? She's psycho.
You don't have to stay forever. You stay
Thin line
for a
between love and
time.
hate. Do you know that movie?
Yeah, we do know it, but those are bombastic movies. No,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying.
All right.
You don't have to stay forever.
Most death.
So you stay run. See what I'm saying?
Nah.
You stay ready, and
I
then
love
once
it.
it's time to,
Then you.
drop in.
Gear number 2.
You feel me?
Or shall you R?
R.
Reverse.
So it's been in R.
2, 3.
It's been in R.
Take us there, Dumi. Take us
Second
there.
segment, gents. Yeah, no.
A heavy one.
This one is interesting. Which of these men best represents your character? And I'm going to start with the first one. Yeah. Mama's bestie.
Okay.
My mama come first? Or your wife come first? It is said
tell us
that if a
about that.
woman wants to know how you'll treat her, she looks at how you treat your mama.
Yes.
Obviously, this is a battle of Umama versus Umakoti.
Okay.
And then the question is obviously, can you keep both happy in your life?
Yes.
What do you do in this
Oh yes,
instance?
I mean, look, that's why you also
Okay,
you
maybe
can't
before
date-
you answer, KB, let me just throw in a spanner in the works.
Okay.
I'm sorry to cut you. Can you keep both happy in your life? But you're a mama's boy.
Nigga, I'm
And
not
then
dating my
wifey
mom.
sees Gucci, yes, yeah, this one loves mama more than me. And now she's trying to play it against Gucci, no, me.
Yeah.
Attention, give me attention because you're always at home, you're going to your mother. And then all of a sudden she's like, no man, you gotta.
Nah,
so
you know what?
what's the
I think
balancing act there?
a real woman would understand and know how to best navigate through that situation, right? And not have to make it a battle between me and her.
Yeah.
Because if it's the minute you make it a battle between the two, one has to lose. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Right? One has to lose. Instead of it just being a thing of, you know what, I'm in your life now, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why I'm in your life. Maybe I do have similarities to your mom. That's why I'm in your life. Most guys that's what we end up dating, like females that kind of give us that sense of umama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the first woman you've experienced. Anyway.
Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's also on you as a man to be like, I also need to draw the line.
Yeah.
Right? That's where it has to fall on us to be
So
like,
which
where
is
am I
this
drawing
your
the line?
character?
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
You're the mama's character.
no, to a point, to a degree, because
Okay.
I know the difference. I'm
Okay.
not dating my mom.
Would it be
And
you?
but
Yeah.
also your mother also plays a role in that. If your mother also knows that she's not dating you, you see what I'm saying? Because there's weird, like that if it's like single mom and she raised you, just
Yeah.
the two of you your whole life, it becomes a very symbiotic relationship
Yeah.
where she doesn't see you with any other woman but her in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you also need to be mature enough to understand and be like, ma, let's have a conversation. I'm drawn now, whatever, respectfully, but no moon manje. And instead of thinking of a bond between you and me, it can be a three-way bond.
Yeah.
I'm bringing a daughter into your life. I'm bringing you another child, right?
I think
that's how it should be.
I think it usually works. There should be a balance, and when your mother is close to your person, it usually works perfectly.
Yeah.
Best.
And your mother should be like there. I understand when Kabla is saying, if ever maybe you grew up, the mother raised you alone. She's too attached. She doesn't want to let go. But nje kunabo mama basile out there.
Yes, sir.
Who are
Yes,
spiteful,
sir.
which nje sometimes they can be spiteful, which your marriage doesn't go well because they feel entitled, which whatever you do should go to them.
To them,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So a very matured mother and a very smart woman would know that, you know what, this is how, like it's usual best, just move away.
Yeah. I think
With
for
your
me to kind of sum this up, I'm gonna run back to culture. You know, culture would dictate what's happening here. The two should never even be compared.
Yeah.
start with.
Sin to less. Let's not
start with.
play around with it, because ultimately my mother is not on your level. And never will be. However, when I bring in the culture element, I'm simply saying we lost the ability to take our wives ukotiza, enough to get to know the mother, so they learn the differences and still love you separately, but still supporting you. One is supporting you from a motherly perspective, one is supporting you from a wifely perspective. Build that relationship on your point. They get along and each knows their place. It's that simple.
I watched some other meme. This girl is asking the guy, who comes first in your life? The Bible says, you know my mother. She comes first, she raised me, blah, blah, blah. And then this lady says, who's the second one? This guy says, my baba.
Oh.
My baba. You like how I look, right? You like how I look, right? My baba comes first, and then
Damn.
you come third.
Wow.
So,
I'm pretty sure that did not end well.
no, but the guy had facts.
Yeah.
That you liked how I looked. It's because of my baba. He comes first.
Yeah.
So okay, but now which one are you now to answer his question?
I don't know.
Are you on the mama side? We've got more to check. Do you feel you're there?
No.
Mm.
No.
You're not
Not the
there.
mama's boy.
All right.
I'm not a mama.
I've got another one here. Okay? We've got the family man. Okay? Generally, when this man's woman calls, the party is over.
Oh,
He has to go home or attend to the family. Zakala, man.
no,
Oh, is that him?
I'm the family man.
Oh, you're the family man.
But
So when the phone goes off, Jimmy's gone.
not in that manner.
Okay.
But I'm like I've always known that I wanted to be a family man.
Okay.
Now that I have that, I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it. You know what I mean? But whenever I'm out there,
Jimmy will leave.
no, not necessarily.
Jimmy will leave us.
Yep.
He's left
Yep.
us before.
Yep.
You should know where I am.
Yep. Yep. Left. Yeah.
All right.
Dumi D, do you feel like you're the family man?
Not really.
Well, you're the ring gang, so I'm assuming.
Not the family man. Wangifonela ngekhaya.
We're happy.
Angiye ekhaya mina.
Yeah.
Mina mabangifonela ngizofika ngizobuya. I don't go home, not immediately.
3 hours.
Okay.
But family for me would be obviously priority. Ngizosuka ekhaya, everything is sharp.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know,
Exactly, yeah.
but if you supplement a machita and then you call me and I tell you to supplement, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna up and leave now because saying you're tatazela ngathi ngidlisiwe. Doesn't work like that for me.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what I'm
So,
saying. Like your women should understand where you are.
Okay.
You
And
understand?
then when you go, you're like, hey, I'm going to chill and
Number
do
cheetah.
1, 2, 3. I'll see you later. That's it.
Simple.
You're done.
So maso phone manje uthi kimi ngizengigijima.
You need separate lives, gents. You know,
never.
I think it's about having separate lives. And again, I'm gonna run to my safe place. You know what I'm doing. Ngiyindoda yasekhaya, ngizobuya mangibuya. If you trust me enough, it's that simple.
Unless you know that you've had a flop.
There we go.
I think when you get something like that, you've got a controlling wife.
Yeah. Now we're bordering on that.
No, but now what if we're no Shaila flop? What?
You conditioned her to think like that. True.
Yeah.
Good point.
That-
No,
that's
but
a-
like
that's a point, yeah.
that's my
Yeah,
question. It's
true.
like, what if now Shayama flop? You're cheating. You're doing ABC. What happens then?
Yeah. Then that
So you've taught her. You've
So you
taught her.
created this beast.
No, you created the insecurity that's now there. Because that's
all
what it
comes
is,
to
kind of.
insecurities,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
gonna become an insecurity. So, nah.
Definitely.
But I don't think any of us are those guys.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
All right, gents. Let's jump to the next one. The career man. This man is married to his career. His work takes up most of his time.
Sure.
Workaholic, driven, and passionate.
Yes.
So this is like relationship versus your career.
I think
Yeah, put it high.
we've once spoken about this before. That you know what, the wife or the woman in the house needs to understand that for you to chase whatever you're chasing, she lives in this beautiful mansion, she's driving this beautiful car.
Yeah.
That doesn't come just by you sitting at home.
Exactly.
You need to be out there. You'd be married to your career when that happens. But obviously, the time that you have with the family, you spend with them. But obviously, you should be out there, keep on chasing.
Yeah, but if it's the beginning stages of a relationship, it's easy to do that when you guys are now married and
Yeah.
now the success is there.
Yeah.
But you see, I can speak from the trying to get there, right? It's difficult.
Yeah, it's
Because
difficult,
that time, like you know what happens is that you become a guy that ticks boxes. Hardworking, always busy.
You're trying to live up to some nonsensical
Not
view
even
of
that.
what a
Not
man
even,
should have.
Not even that.
Yeah.
You just are doing those things, right?
Yeah.
So to the girl, you're ticking all of her boxes, right? Works hard, does this, does that, does this. Doesn't understand that to do those things, there's sacrifices that have to be made.
Hence I say it's nonsense.
Yeah, it's always good when we're in the infatuation phase. And then when it comes to the real phase, how you haven't sent me a message in 3 days.
Yeah, I see. Once it gets there, see, when I raised my hand just now, I think I'm mostly the career man. You know, I've loved my career in the past 20 years, but don't come and try and change that. Don't try and change how I've survived to a point where one day you're gonna leave me hanging and I got no career because I've been chasing your ass, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
So I'd rather be the career man, keep it stable, keep it grounded, so that if anything happens, I'm still me.
Yes.
I don't think women should be mad about men with
Working.
a career. You should be having a problem if your man doesn't spend
Did you hear
time
that?
having
Did
time
you
with
hear
you.
that? Did you guys hear that? There's a
Your
ha.
man,
I heard that.
your,
I thought
women shouldn't women should have no issues with a man chasing a career or trying to. The only problem comes when he neglects them,
yeah,
but still with friends.
it's a balance.
You know.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think it strikes a balance, and for me, what I've seen, this is more prevalent in black culture. I believe sometimes our women are not sure of what it is that they want. You'll find other cultures. I'm lucky enough, you know, in the early 90s when the transitioning was happening, I went to those
Lonnie.
Yeah.
Lonnie schools.
Lonnie schools, right? You're right there.
So
You're right there. Right.
So
Her name for
I was
leash.
able to see, you know, as X likes to refer to culture, I was able to see the Greeks, the Italians, and the
Yeah.
Jewish people,
Yeah.
how they ran their families. And, you know, you find that most Jewish women are homemakers. They're stay-at-home wives. The guy goes out there, he grinds. And, you know, white boys, when they work, they get to work at 6 and they knock off at 10 at night. Because as you mentioned, Jimmy, is to provide that comfortable life. You know, the trick in the now century is that as a man, you are now, you know, supposed to play all these roles, which is impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
Because if you're making deals and
gonna say something
you're trying to
controversial.
build, you cannot be there 24/7. You know what I'm saying? your main objective, and this goes out to the feminists because they are saying certain things, but then when they want a guy, the guy must be a provider.
I'm
The
good.
guy
7
must be a
jobs.
protector.
Oh.
The guy must be earning 6 figures.
Yeah.
And wara and wara. So,
Domesticated.
you know what
Somehow.
I'm saying? And still give some good whipping. So you ask yourself,
Oh Lord!
I'm
So
not gonna
after
tell-
all of that, I must still perform.
yeah.
I must come back at 9 or 10 after finding and hunting for that bloody cow, and then still ride it
Yes.
like, oh no.
Speaking about culture,
Like
you know,
you
like in our play cultures, our fathers used to be strict.
Yeah.
So whenever it's not home, we're here, people. Hey, Papa,
No, but listen.
I used to be here, people.
No, listen. Here's a controversial thing.
Yeah?
You know what ruined everything? This love language bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, me,
What's
my
your
love language is
What's your love
quality
language?
time.
I mean,
Yeah, you see that QT one?
do you know? Do you know? Do you know?
Nonsense.
But wait, let's go there.
Nonsense.
Let's go there. Let's go to the love
Nonsense.
language BS,
Do you know,
bruh.
do you know how much we had to adjust as black people with this love language thing?
They can't even spell language.
Because how we grew up, like it was difficult to see your parents kissing,
Yeah.
for example, you know.
But they had a love language.
You know what I mean? They did that in their own private space.
Exactly.
But Manje is just in the open, like we don't know where to. Even us now, it's difficult for us to kiss in front of our parents or do because there's
You
that-
never seen it.
Donna, you're gonna kiss your parents at the wedding. That's the only time
I
you
don't know
kiss
about
at
you,
the
Dave,
wedding.
but I did.
No, but you see what I'm saying. That's why these things, quality time,
But
touch.
let's get real.
And all these
quality
things.
time, love languages. What is the most universal love language to our sisters?
But why?
Not say it out loud. Don't be scared.
Money,
Money, gifts,
it's a money.
and they misinterpret the word bloody gifts.
Yeah.
Because that's one of them, right?
No, but I'm
if
the
you
gift.
watch the love language story of what it's actually saying about gifts, it's about getting and giving.
Correct.
But now it's getting,
Yeah.
getting.
A lot of them
getting.
say that my
And
love
then they
language
choose
is,
what
is,
it
is
is that they
receiving
get.
gifts.
Now, how do I give you gifts, the love language of money, if I'm not a career guy?
But they get you socks
Correct.
now. You've been getting socks.
What the fuck am I gonna do with socks? What
Socks
must I
and
do with the
ties.
socks?
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
You've been getting socks and ties.
Hey, yeah, socks and ties.
Look at the trauma. He held his neck.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
the trauma
traumatized.
that he had.
Yeah, it's the
He
career.
held his neck.
Too many times.
Career guy.
Ultimately, guys, I'm not moving from this ish. I am still going to be the career guy because I'm sticking
Yeah.
to my story.
Yeah.
Whether she goes or she stays, the bank balance stays forever.
Thank you.
And that's if she takes half.
Oh Lord.
Anyway.
You see now. Well, you should be turning back to yourself.
Yeah, it's for them.
Ring gang.
Yeah, ring gang. Yeah, ring gang. Couch gang.
Let's go to the next one.
Yes.
The people pleaser. Ooh. The push over.
Nice.
Mr. Understanding.
Nice.
Man versus evil. Always aims to please others. Never puts himself first, but he puts himself last. The glue, the mediator. Constantly seeking validation. Simply put, Mr. Nice Guy.
Okay. Nice guys finished last.
And
guys.
this is Zulu City. Isi yo yo yo.
Oh, yeah, that's a mouthful, Mr. Nice Guy. Jeez, guys. So, we've got our last one here. And again, let's see if we can identify ourselves in this one, eh?
Yeah.
Mr. Lover.
Mr.
Mr. Free Spirit. Mr. Wherever I lay my head, that's my home.
Papa was a rose.
Mr. Chama Guy.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
I'm just doing it.
The prize.
The prize, eh? So, who identifies themselves in this guy?
Never where I lay my head is my home. Never.
Yeah, no.
A Rolling Stone.
Never.
But you're the prize.
Yeah, but a prize is not a rolling stone. Who have you heard of a rolling stone?
How did you find
that's a
out
prize?
you're the prize if you didn't roll?
I was born that way. It
Oh,
was
Lord.
instilled in me. Yes, sir. It was instilled in me
Yeah.
from birth.
Okay.
They held me over the Pride Rock
Yes, Lion
You are
King.
seeing Bambuswe.
Yeah, he's Lion King it out.
like this.
All right, but you think you're the charmer guy?
I don't think.
Do you identify
No,
with the
other
character?
people have placed that on me. So unfortunately,
okay.
you know what I
It
mean?
came to you, not that you declared it.
Yeah.
I don't. Is there guys who go out there and say I'm a charm?
Yes, I have seen them.
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
They act like it. I've never heard them say specifically.
No, I've heard them say.
But
I've heard them
they
say
act.
it.
Oh, like to come out
the
and
funny,
say that is
no, the
it's
funny
mad
thing
business.
is those guys are never charmers. It's the sad part.
Yeah.
So they need to say it.
The guys that say it are never
Yeah.
chamba.
It's like these guys that say go cheers, the Melrose. I'm like, dude, what are you saying? I'm beautiful as a man. Relax. You know those pretty boys that like the mirror and assume they're hot? And then wait to be told. That's a problem. That's where now bordering on chama guy. You know? The chama guy
attacking yellow
syndrome.
bones. Speak for yellow bones.
Yellow bones. Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, some of them are just yellow.
You leave
Right?
us out of that.
Speak for the yellow bones, boy. Rep.
No. So
Do you see yourself as a chama guy?
no, I don't actually. But I think I've got an ability to come across as that.
Ah, okay.
To come across.
I think everybody's tippy-toeing around this subject, guys. Why can't we just say we are baba or hot as guys?
No,
I'm just going to compare it to how ladies do it. Is there something wrong with that?
No.
I think let's hear his point of view, and then maybe we'll come
You
back
see,
to
I lost my train of thought. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's jump to
you
you.
think of it.
Salt and pepper daddy.
Mina ngithanda kuyazenzakalela.
Hlokoloza.
Mangivela nje kuyazenzakalela.
Yeah, we're Melrose, which is.
Mangivela mntwana, mangivela.
Pop up on the scene.
So there's nothing wrong with saying that. If you see a chama guy in you, like ladies see some, I don't know, boyity.
I don't
in
like
them.
when you keep looking at me when you say this.
I can say.
You're the prize.
I won't say I'm a charmer,
Yeah.
but I can say I'm not kwababa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If I see what I like,
Yeah.
I go.
That's
Whether the other person reciprocates,
Yes.
sekgowa,
Yes, sir.
then that's a different issue.
Yeah.
But I think like KB always says, I believe I'm the prize. No?
Yes, the prize.
There's no way. There's no way
way.
I'm gonna go to somebody when I didn't see what mana lawyer mana ish.
Yeah.
We can dance.
Yeah.
And then I try my moves. And then
When are you the champ?
what the outcome is, it's a different
This
story.
guy chama though.
Perry White. Perry White ke le chamara. Temanyana.
Plus, you know he smokes, so he's always looking at them.
Oh, come on. I think to answer your question, you know, do I see myself as a charmer? Of course I do. But not to an extent where I was in my 20s. There's a certain level of charm that you can use these days that's mature. Not that in your face type of nonsense that I see happening on social media with these young cats these days. You know, but you have to be confident in yourself. And I think that's what I was referring to earlier, to say, let no guy feel like they can't say I'm good looking. That's an inferiority complex that sometimes we enforce upon ourselves, and you're scared, you know, kwababa, like you said, to approach a good-looking woman.
That's why I'm
And
depressed.
there's many elements that can make us charmed, gents.
That's why we're the
Because we must remember something. They're not all looking for the same thing in all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the mistake we make.
And charm is very broad. I don't think charm is looks.
Yep. There we go.
Charm could be character.
There we go.
Charm could be personality. Charm could be
But it's perceived.
Bank balance.
bank balance. Yeah,
Bank balance.
I'm so charmed.
Thank you, Abuti.
I mean, guys, look at people like the late Biggie Smalls.
Yes.
They're on the looks department.
Your face was a very strong wife.
You know
No,
what
but
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying, you know, like
strong side chick.
Yeah. They were all strong.
But I'm saying, like, it is perceived general that
Yeah.
charms has to go with looks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
well,
guess that's a
society
perception.
deems it so.
Yeah.
But where we've looked and where we've seen in most cases, amachita chama ikobo bafethu. Ikobo isibhaya zachama bafethu. I don't want to lie to you. And women will tell you, "Utele pare yang lakrisa." But I remember, what is it that you want to
What
do?
else do you
Because
do?
you already think with my looks have already
I've done the job
So
for me.
you feel like you're the prize, and
So
sometimes
you
you're
work
not the
twice
prize.
as hard.
Because as much as
So
we
it's
think,
works twice as hard.
yeah, he has to.
No, but he has to know he's right. He has to be funny. He has to be knowledgeable. He has to have money.
So you don't have the money, you don't have the looks. You're gonna work 3 times as hard then.
Yeah, nah.
That's a problem, Baba.
When you don't have even one of them.
Bank balance.
But bank balance can
Bank
cover
balance
for
is number
everything.
one. You can cover
Yeah,
everything.
bank balance can. Because
That could be a charming
when
boy.
you have money, boy, you're the funniest guy ever.
True.
And even when you say the stupidest thing,
Yeah.
I just say,
We've seen that happen. We've definitely seen that happen.
So the money guy will charm and I'm out here.
Yes.
I'm not talking about Ice
No,
Boy.
no, that's true.
There's Ice Boys.
No, really.
Just,
The money guy
I'm gonna
does
caution.
charm.
I'm gonna
Does charm.
caution.
Does charm the guys as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna caution
charms
where
are
we're
my
going
friends.
now.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, charming guys is another territory.
No, there's guys that will hang out with the money guy.
Yeah,
Because the
true.
money guy will bring me the baby. Because guess what? The baby might sleep with the money guy, but will also come to me.
No.
It's actually the other way around.
No, let me tell you my experience.
Yeah.
Before I cut you,
Yeah.
think about it. The money guy can't sleep with all the girls.
No, that's true.
Well, it depends.
Okay. Remember that this money
If you
guy.
got the charm, bro, you'll wake up
but
with all of them.
Listen, when you're a guys like me, you know that damn money guys.
Mara KB.
You feel me?
Hence we're saying charm is different.
Yeah.
It is.
Angithi wena uchama ngenyuku. Phela kunomuntu ofana namnya oil.
Give me that.
Imisa nabantwana.
Yes.
You understand? Mang oilile wena ngithi uphethe izinto. Wena ke making sure ukuthi
Right.
and then sicover.
Sicover.
Because ngeke oil manje and then uKB umuntu wezinto.
Yeah.
Ngiya oil and then abantwana yabona.
Yeah.
So mina mang oil. KB must come with the things so that we seal the deal.
Yeah, yeah. Now I think
understand.
we're saying the same thing in different languages.
Yes, man.
Because
Swimming
we are
in
the
the
same.
same ocean, different
No, for real, because like I'm
direction.
saying, because Vele money guy, money, but
Yeah.
there's the oiler.
But
Yeah.
have you come
No,
across...
you need a bit of both.
Have you come across a situation where the money guy is the money guy, but ends up getting none?
Yeah,
Because
but that's what happens.
Oiler or charmer through mentality talks.
No, that's what happens.
Because there's women who will sit in a room full of money guys.
Yeah.
Ufike wena mposh,
Yeah.
and just trigger their mind. And believe me, you're going to land it.
Plus ukhumbula
because
nje.
usuka abantu uzokufida lo nje.
Yeah.
No, but you know,
Lambile, you're hungry. I can only fit that one in this room. Let me go for him.
but it's like a beauty. Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I watch him. He
Ah, you just see that.
doesn't have to say anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna
Just
forward.
Face card.
It just lands on the feet.
Uchibiche mangena labantwana bayaqwada. Mina mangena la mfethu mele ngispy. You understand?
But then don't we also learn that from the guy who has the ball? And if everyone doesn't adhere to him and his rules, he goes home with the ball.
Paul.
There we go.
We learn that from
No,
a very young age that
Very.
the ball
Is mine.
Even if he goes home with the
Alpha
ball.
male.
Fine,
There's always the alpha male. And alpha it differs, isn't it?
But it also goes to, and I like that point from Bra Olive there.
No, Abuti S.
Abuti S.
Yeah.
Abuti Olive. There we go. The voice in the background,
big
guys. I think it also differs because we've evolved, and I've seen our sisters are evolving too.
Correct.
There's a preference card that's being played now. Because if you start going into the age ranges of your 30s and 40s, sometimes they've had enough of the guy with the ball. They just want the smart guy or the sweet guy, nice guy, and just do it for the night sharp or build a life with them. The younger ones, of course, they're going to chase the ball.
Yeah.
So it's an age range thing.
You know what I'll say?
You can meet a 40-year-old woman. Some people within our ranges that says, "Oh yeah, he's got money, but we'll shut down Leonja."
The thing is, they're starting young
He
because
had me.
they're quick to see now.
Yeah.
Even the young girls now. they're
Yeah,
quick
so
to
it's
see.
an age range issue now as well.
No, I'm saying that they're starting so young that it's not even an age range thing.
No,
By the
it's-
time
it's
she's
a
20,
culture.
by
It's
the
a
time
culture.
correct,
Yeah.
because of what you're
The current culture.
Yeah, because of what you're being exposed to early
Yeah.
and so on and so forth.
Exposure.
So by the time she's like, no man ngahamba ngebhola, I mean, I'm fine.
Great.
I think from the reaction of some of the opposite gender in the room as I'm watching, number one is going to sit with the bag.
No, but the
We
thing
know
is,
the bag
the-
holds a lot
the
of weight
thing is,
in this
Nah,
country.
nah.
the person will have to show you that
They have the bag.
they have the bag.
No, let me give
But
you,
when someone walks in
give
there-
you a reality check. This is, sorry ladies, this happens all the time. I've played the game myself. You can fake the bag and still win in this country. That's how dumb
Thank you,
some of them can be.
Thank you, Taek.
You can fake the bag. I can borrow my boy's ride, which is
Wola-
a
Wola
Bentley.
Buti Olive.
I can rock my boy's perfume.
I receive.
I can rock my boys'
Bentley.
Nikes. I can rock it all for one night and win that night.
Sure.
Because I look like I got the,
part.
bag.
Yeah.
The part, yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? So the game is dangerous out there for them, not us.
And he must know.
I
You
think
know
the
how
biggest
guys are.
charm to close this thing is anyone who can walk in the room
Yeah.
and be listened to when there's talking.
Aura.
That's what. That's
There
what.
we go.
It's all about the aura.
And now you're going
because you can
into-
have the money. I think, like you said, the perfect example, Uguti, she can go into Santa and probably maybe there's a what you call these things. They're having
What, like a
Convention?
sale?
a convention,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
And it is a serious convention.
Yeah.
And these guys are money. These guys just want to be the career guy. They're focusing on the next deal. Don't I need to close the deal? And then ufika uMasaka nje, uMasaka abona uthi lezi zakhinya lezi. Abantwana bakhinyekile, oil.
Done.
And Maga Oiler, because they were so bored, and remember, it's not their language. There's trophies. Some of them. Because I gotta look the part, man. Must bring the hottest girl. But there's no conversation because it's only your money and your Bentley
And
that
you can't
speaks
have
for you.
conversations with such
So,
people.
but your aura says a lot.
Fluency.
Yeah,
And
it says a lot.
it beats what I'm saying now. I'm gonna retract what I said to say you can fake it. You can fake it if you want one for the night. But you can't fake it permanently because there's a certain I don't want to play around with the word aura too much. There's a certain presence a man with money holds. Once they walk into the room responds without saying a word.
Certain rooms, though.
Certain rooms, true.
Certain rooms.
And there's certain age groups within that room that can tell with the low bolegi or low unche. Personality was.
Damn it.
Yes. Thank you.
But I think, gents,
Thank you.
maybe to wrap up.
Yeah.
Let's we've spoken of Umama's bestie,
Yeah.
the career guy,
Yeah.
family man,
Yep.
Mr. Nice Guy, and
Yeah.
X closed it nicely
With the charmer guy.
with the charmer guy. I mean, that's 5 different characters.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we are 4. Mara, there was a 5th guy who was screaming
Yeah, he's
somewhere.
he's holding one there.
Yeah. But in
I want the olive.
yeah, in all honesty, I think no one man can fit into one bracket.
Yeah.
As you summed it up nicely, X Wuti, when you get to certain rooms,
Yeah.
you become that which is necessary. And I believe all of us in our different stratospheres where we've been, what we've done, I mean, your journey will not be the same as mine, but there's rooms that you've been in where a certain character had to come out.
Yeah.
Have you guys now experienced, Uguti, to a certain degree, you had to be the family guy, man, Certain degree, you had to be the career guy, certain degree, and probably still are, you know what I'm saying, especially with career. Certain degree charm. I think charmer fits all round.
Yeah.
What would be your experiences? I think let's start with KB.
You know what I think?
In all the 5.
You know what I think? For me, I think it's when duty calls.
Yeah.
You'll come up to task.
Yeah.
And there's times where you have to tropela and be the family guy and do this. Times where you have to be the mama's boy to a point because the situation calls for it.
Yeah.
I think being cognizant enough to know that
Which role to play?
you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because anyway, we all play up to a role.
Yeah.
That requires me at that point.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like if there's a time where I need to be chama boy, whatever, because the situation is boring, whatever. Someone needs to turn it up.
Yeah.
You turn it up, right? And it's gonna turn off everybody there from a female perspective. You might not get anything for the night, but you got something started. That's what the moment required for.
Yeah.
But not all moments require you to be everything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Cool stuff.
So that's it from my side.
Jimmy J?
No, I think with me as well, I've touched on a little bit of all of them,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'll echo your sentiments, Gabs. And you get some of the things like even the colleagues saying, you're too nice sometimes for, what? I know Olive always on my back with that. You should go in hard.
Yeah.
You're too nice for each other. And I'm like, come on.
Why?
That was a situation that didn't require that. But, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I think I touched a little bit of all of them. But yeah, when that period requires you to touch a little bit of family guy, it happens, you know what I mean? I think all men just have those things,
Yeah.
Right? X?
I think, it's the same sentiment, guys. We all morph or evolve into what we need to be at the time.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have to look at what the room is saying and read the room or the situation.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it back as well to the whole which stage of life you're at. I think that's the biggest part when we look at some of these titles here. I can't be a chama guy at 50. With the definition that they're looking at. Mr. Lava Lava, Mr. Where I lay my head's my home. I can't be a Mr. Nice Guy all the time when I'm clubbing, if I'm 20, yes, but if I'm a certain age, so it comes with different stages and ages of where you are in your life as a man. And we need to remember that. But there's nothing wrong with either of them because they come in different stages.
Yeah.
And you just incorporate what works for you at the time. But ultimately, there is that one, you know, there is that one that stands out, that one go-to. I would say the default that we all have out of these 5 that you are known for, you know. And if that's yours as a mama's bestie, most people that are married, their women will be able to tell them that, oh, uso, because they've spent enough time with them.
Yeah.
You know? And then other people will be saying, hey, X is a chama guy, or because he's never married and he's changed relationships so much and blah, blah, blah. It's about how the world sees you, but it's also how you portray yourself at the stage you're at in life.
Nice one, X. Yeah, no. Just to close it off for the round table discussion, you know, I also believe it depends on the scenario, on the situation, because everything is about becoming.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll never know who you need to become until the opportunity presents itself. So you become that person and you become that man or that woman in that particular instance. And as you said, X correctly put it, there is a default in you which sometimes will make you run because there are certain rooms you feel now you can't fit in.
It's not me.
It's not me. So, you know, your default response is, now let me get out of here. Even though you've been there, you will not spend as much time that you ought to because it's not you. You know, like the old adage says, you know, each to his own and different strokes for different folks. And gents, I hope, you know, you found yourself, if not yet. We hope that this segment has helped you, at least, you know, opened your eyes to the different, you know, characters that are there. And obviously, you know, the kind of woman that you'd like to be with, you know, where she's been, who she was or who she isn't. And, you know, not every guy is gonna, you know, agree. And we welcome that, and we would like to hear your comments. We would like you know, to hear your difference of opinion. It's welcome. Tell us, you know what I'm saying. Maybe there's something that we did not touch on, and you would like us to actually touch on that on the next segment. Put it in our comment section. We will gladly do that. You know, we will bring maybe guys that have experienced that and that have gone through that, and you know, to give us a broader outcome or a broader view. We appreciate every single comment that you guys share with us, and we look forward to seeing you on the next segment of Redemption. Have a good one. We out. Peace.